From your local election headquarters, this is Big Country Politics on KTAB.
All right, welcome back to Big Country Politics. We are continuing our conversation with Dr. Paul Fabrizio, political science professor over at McMurray University, and we're talking about social media and its entanglement, I don't know what else to call it, with being a politician now. And you almost have to have that person on staff now if you are a national politician, even a regional one, running for state representative, or because social media is so important right now. And as the mayor said, he was embarrassed about it. As Sharon commented, you know, you really got to watch what you say nowadays, especially on social media.
Right. You go back to the rise of feminism and women getting more involved in politics 40, 50 years ago. The statement was, the personal has become political. And a lot of people go, what does that mean? Well, this is it. We're seeing it now with social media. What you do in your personal life, what you say in your personal life is no longer just personal. Anything about you is out there for the public if you choose to use social media. So if you're going to say jokes on Facebook, you need to be aware that there are going to be people who are going to scrutinize you, and because it's going to be remembered, you know, things you made, comments you made 10 years ago are still going to be out there. And so you got to be careful.
As far as the mayor goes and his comments, were you surprised about how annoyed, angry, how harsh his words seemed to be during the joint news conference that he and Kyle McAllister?
I wasn't surprised at that because I believe the mayor was genuinely reflecting what he was feeling. What I think was more interesting is that Kyle McAllister could have come out and just had this press conference by himself. But instead, the mayor came out, introduced him, made comments about it. So it was like the mayor was saying, I'm in charge here, and this city councilman has been a bad boy, and I'm going to be here, but he is going to now apologize to you. So in essence, the mayor was providing a little bit of protection for him. And also the mayor was showing that the mayor's in charge of this city. I thought it was a really interesting display right there with the mayor.
Well, and you know, he's the first black mayor here in Abilene. Does that have anything to do with what went on? I mean,
it's incredibly important, and of course, you know, it's a lot of people won't talk about it, but it's out there. Here is a councilman accused of racism against Hispanics, but still accused of racism. Here you have an African American mayor who is saying, I am disgusted by what he said, but he is still appearing at the same forum as this councilman who's accused of racism. So in other words, he's not kicking him out, but he is bringing him there to be punished. But the mayor is clearly showing that the mayor is in charge of this thing. So in essence, the mayor also had a choice. The mayor could have said, hey, Kyle McAllister is bad, get out of here. The mayor could have said, I'm not going to deal with him at all. I call on for him to resign. But instead, the mayor didn't do that. He just said, I'm disgusted with his comments. Now, let's bring Kyle to the podium.
They did say that there was a meeting before that news conference earlier this week, and it was a tough meeting, you know, a hard meeting in Kyle McAllister's own words. I believe he said something like that, used some sort of adjective like that. It seemed like during that meeting, this was, hey, shame on you. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a joint news conference, and you're going to apologize. Did it seem that way?
It seemed like that, and there wasn't anything to indicate it wasn't like that. We really don't know, and I wish we could find out what they actually said. I would assume that the mayor laid down the law to the councilman and said, what you did was wrong, and you might think it was funny, but it's not. And here is how I see it. And I'm speaking to you as mayor, and I'm speaking to you as a member of a minority group. And here is what I think you should do. But again, I'm just interpreting. I don't know. You'll have to find out.
Well, and then we're going to go to Kyle McAllister's comments in just a minute after the break. So when we come back, we're going to that second part of the joint news conference here on Big Country Politics.